Because Chinese at that time would not even teach another Oriental because they wanted the art strictly for Chinese. And Bruce, because he grew up in a Western education, didn't see it that way. He thought everybody should be worthy. He once told me, he says, he's being sarcastic, he says, you think the Chinese are the only ones who are virtuous and have high standard morality? He says, you mean the other races don't have it? He says, and they said, that's BS. So he did a lot, he set my mind thinking. I was so happy because I said, oh, here's a Chinese that will teach another 9 Chinese.
Lee loudly criticizes the more traditional forms of Chinese Kung Fu, referring to these styles as a classical mess, and boasts, to me, 99% of the whole business of Oriental self-defense is baloney. It looks good, but it doesn't work. The Chinese martial arts community is furious. They send a challenger, hoping to disgrace him.
He had come into Bruce Lee's school in Chinatown, Oakland, and he says, I'm sent here by the Chinese Kung Fu community, and he said, you're to close your school down because we don't want you teaching non-Chinese. And Bruce Lee told him, he says, I'll teach anybody who I want to teach. So what it came down to is that he'd come in, he said, well, if you beat me, then you can teach non-Chinese, but if I beat you, you got to close your school down.
Lee chooses to fight in traditional Wing Chun fashion. He barely defeats his opponent.
And he realized 2 important things from that outcome. Number one, he was physically not where he could be in terms of cardiovascular and so on. And secondly, he realized that his arsenal was very, very limited.
Lee begins to develop a new style of martial arts, which he calls Jeet Kun Do, melding the mind, the body, and the spirit.